Hello future astronauts out there. As you know, we are just a couple of days away from the test flight. And what I wanted to discuss with you guys, what is the potential of a short squeeze? And before we diving in, make sure to check out the X10 Masterclass to get access to our Discord channel and many other things like 100 unpublished videos about the stock market, 10x stocks, and get 10% off by using 10 space. So when we're talking about short squeeze, I want to first to teach you what a short squeeze actually is. So a short squeeze is the phenomena on the stock market that we recently saw also at GameStop or the Wall Street bets, right? So when a company is heavily shorted, which means that hedge funds or investors are betting against a higher price of the stock, then you call it shorting. And if you are short a company, you basically, the main method is to borrow some stocks, sell it at the current market price, and then you think that the stock goes down, then you buy it for lower, you have a profit, and you give the stocks back. Now, on the other side, it's a very, very, very risky endeavor because you are in the risk of unlimited losses, because the stock, other than going down and you can lose 100%, it can go infinity up. Okay, so you can see here the problem with short selling for hedge funds and other investors. So at some point they will not have enough money to cover their shorts and they are forced to cover their shorts, which means to buy back the stock. And what happens then? If the stock anyway goes already very much up, then the short sellers, which can be more than 100% of the outstanding shares even, then they have to buy back the stock, which then even further increases the stock price, and this is how you call a short squeeze. And this is how it functions, and it had been with the GameStop stock just recently. So that's why I believe there's a couple of reasons why Virgin Galactic could be in a short squeeze position, and therefore I want to go with you in two things. First, let's look into the chart and the stock, and then let's look into the short interest that we can find on the internet. You actually can see that we had a tremendous gain in the stock price since the last couple of weeks. Actually, since the year started, we had over 140% gains, which is tremendously. We started the year somewhere at $23 and being by almost 60 now, and crossed even 60 when we had this run recently. It's absolutely tremendous. I mean, that's so fantastic. But I think that this was also a short squeeze already. Okay, there was literally in the beginning of year not that many news. It was just people went after high shorted stocks, and space was one of them, and that's why you have seen that this is absolutely insane what happened to space. And I think that this is the reason also that the stock went so much up. So as we go higher or went higher and higher, usually there could be two phenomena. First, it could be that the short interest actually increases because the short sellers are still in the game and increasing their positions as far as the stock goes higher and higher, and some are just covering and ending their short on this company. So here you can see that it seems, with the information that you will have in the last part of this video, how the short interest developed over the last couple of days and weeks, that actually I think that many hedge funds and people who shorted Virgin Galactic actually covered their shorts, because the short interest went way down, and therefore it's not anymore one of the most shorted stocks. It's not having too much potential to go higher and higher and higher just because of a short squeeze. But still, it's not a low shorted stock after that. It's also not a very high shorted stock. So it's more important for us guys that they will do and create these things that they promise to and really deliver
event by event, because only then we can see higher prices. And again, Virgin Galactic is a very much event-based company. You can see that, here was the event of Michael Koglaser joining in the summer of 2020, plus cabin reveal and so on. And then we went down. Cabin reveal was a little bit disappointing for many people, because this was just the design reveal, and people thought that this is actually the overall design, the real thing, because it was also promised as a live stream. But they're doing it same like Apple now. They record the video and sending it as a live stream. And here you saw the increase through the last test flight around December, which didn't work out. So the stock went from 32 to 23, which is about 25% less. So as you can see, now with the new test flight coming up, I'm really confident. We definitely can have a spike, but if we get another spike like that, that's questionable, because as UBS said, it's already a little bit in price that the flight will be successful. If this is really the case, we shall see after the test flight. I'm not so much convinced, but also I can see that people, having already here some anticipation built in. I would never guess. If you would ask me, guys, what will be the stock price before test flight, I would never say it would be 55. I said on Twitter, follow me on Twitter there as well, I said that I would be happy when the stock will be at around 50.
For a short squeeze to happen actually big, you need to have a big short interest. And what I can show you, two websites that I usually check. It is not the easiest task to find out the short interest, because it's market specific data. It can change anytime. You sometimes need to subscribe to specific data companies and so on and so forth. So actually there is the website called highshortinterest.com, where you can see the space stock, which was the second most shorted stock here in this list, with over, I think, 60% of short interest is gone. Okay, so we don't see here Virgin Galactic anymore in the top 10, and not even on the whole list. So you can see here that the short interest is lower than 20%, because the last company here in this list is shorted 20.89%. Then when you go on the website of Fintel, you can actually see, and this is quite interesting data here, that the short volume ratio brought down to even 12.39%. So you can see here that 12.39% of all volume stocks that were traded was short sold. So this is how the short ratio is actually, dedicated. So as you can see, to conclude this, the short interest went down over the last couple of days and weeks, right? I mean, we were at some point, as you can see here in this constellation, at some staggering 36% according to Fintel, and according to high interest short ratios, it was even up to 60%. So as you can see here, it varies a little bit from data website to data website. In the conclusion, I would like to say that this still is, not the lowest short interest, and it still can cause a short squeeze, but it will be not that big that we maybe saw in the last couple of days and weeks, right? Where the stock went so high as we saw in the stock chart and the stock price. So I'm super excited. The most important thing for space is just to keep on really delivering, keeping the milestones, and go as fast as they can.